Hi, I'm here today to talk to you about the American grain dryer and some of the things that we've been doing for the American grain dryer. We've been servicing the American grain dryer for the last 2 years, approximately. Get, um, we usually service between 6 and 10 dryers a year. One of the big things we offer on the dryer that um, has kind of become our reputation is if your PLC fails or your touchscreen fails or you got some major issue on the controls that the electrician isn't able to solve for you, we have the ability to come there and replace the PLC or the touchscreen, or if we can get an exact match, since the dryers slightly vary, I'm not really sure. Sometimes the programs are slightly different, so we want to make sure we get the right one in there. So most of the time I do go on site to replace the PLC or the touchscreen. Um, I have this coil here. This is one of the coils off of, for a gas valve for telling the gas to go. It's an open close coil. Alright, when you power it, it opens the valve. When you turn power off, it closes. And what I wanted to talk about here is that on one experience, the water had dripped off of the fans and got inside of this housing, and as we kept on turning this thing on and off and opening and closing, then eventually this shorted out inside internally here, and that ended up causing the PLC output to weld closed or on. And so then when we turn off power, then this thing would obviously go close. There's no power there. This is the way it's supposed to work. But then as soon as we turn power onto the dryer, this thing would open up right away, and all of a sudden we're pouring propane into somewhere where the controller really hasn't told it to turn on yet. And in that case, we ended up we can either program to a different output, or it can replace the that part of the PLC. And the PLC that is in the original dryers no longer is made by the manufacturer, so they got this new line of PLC. So this isn't the original. This would be the new line of PLC that we can replace it with. I'm going to just show you a picture so you kind of know what I'm talking about. Down, let me get in close here. The very bottom here, most panels should look similar to this. Some have the PLC on the door where the touch screen is, but anyway, that PLC on the bottom there is what we would be replacing. I usually am able to be reached anytime. If you call 218-964-5723, I will typically respond back within an hour or two of being called. I can help troubleshoot over the phone. I can also, and we are also working on being able to send a device that allows me to help troubleshoot through the internet to the PLC and touchscreen, and hope to have that developed within a couple months. Otherwise, look forward to continuing to help any farmers out there struggling with this dryer. We also service other dryers, like the farm fan dryer is a common one. And I'd like to thank you for listening to me today. Bye.